Hey everybody, it's Patrick. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your first time. So tonight I'm going to be setting up this guy here. And I'm going to try and go through, I'm going to do a screen record so you can see the whole setup of going through the ASIairplus. So it's the AM5 on the TC40 carbon tripod. I'm just going to use my little Rokinon. It's a Rokinon 135 with the ASI 2600 MC Pro, ASIairplus, and then the ZWO, the 120 guide scope with the 120 guide cam. And it's also got the EAF on it. So I'll go through all the settings for all that stuff, and hopefully I'll get the screen record to go, because you know when it's dark, trying to show you how to do it all out there, it's kind of hard. So I'm gonna go outside, get this thing set up, wait for it to get dark, and then we'll go from there. Then we'll go into the tablet and go from there. So I'm gonna go get this set up, and I'll see you on the tablet. See you in a bit. Where's ASIair? Okay. All right, now that we're inside the tablet, so I'm connected to, let me go to my Wi-Fi so you can see where we're connected. Go here. Okay, so under Wi-Fi, I have it connected to my Samyang 135. So we're connected there. So let's go back into the ASIair. I already have it set up, so I just got to click enter. So you see the fan shut off. So now that we're connected. So if this is like your first time going in, you got to hit the signal marker, and you're gonna have to turn on your focuser and your camera down here. So I don't want to turn it off, but you'll need to turn them on down here. So that's the page you have to go into, and then you got to go back in here. You'll have to hit the drop down menu, find your camera. See, all mine's already in there. So I got the 2600. Main focal length is showing 131. So the cooler, so I have to turn on the cooler. It's already on, so it's cooling down to, I have it set to 0. And then the anti-dew, you can turn this on, which I probably really wouldn't need it on, but I'll turn it on anyway. And there's a little hummingbird that just flew right in front of my face. Let's go to the guide scope. Guide scope is already in there, the 120 mini. Focal length is 120. So my calibration steps, I don't think I ever messed with that. So I've got 2000, 2000. I don't know if you can hear, there's an ice cream truck driving by. I live in the hood, so ice cream trucks drive by all night long. I don't need my guide camera to bin. Let's go into the mount. It's okay, so I gotta connect the mount. We're gonna find my mount. We're using the AM5. Connect it. Okay, so it's connected. I don't know, I always get this message where it says, please ensure the DST is disabled, blah, blah, blah. It's never affected anything. There's all that stuff. Okay, so you can see how I got all these settings. Don't have a filter wheel. I do have a focuser. Current position, go to reverse. There's my steps down there. So I am saving everything to my USB drive. This one here I don't use the All-Star or All-Sky polar alignment. I just use the regular. So what I do first, when I first get in here, and I get everything turned on, it's dark enough. I don't think I'm gonna really do any imaging tonight because the moon is about 3/4 full. So what I do is, first thing I do is I go to the focuser and I run an autofocus. I've got it pointed somewhere towards Polaris, so I'm pretty close to where I need to be, but I'll just go in and just run an autofocus. Because if your camera's in focus, I could be completely wrong. I run the autofocus before I do my polar alignment just to make sure my stars are in focus, which at the end of the night, it's always somewhere near focus. So I'm sure it would do fine, but if your stars aren't in focus, it's not going to find your stars when you go to plate solve for polar alignment. So I don't know, so I might just fast forward through all this stuff here. You'll see the curve, and then when it gets done with the curve, then it'll do the little fine adjustment. So I think I have this camera shooting. I think I still have it set up from when I was shooting up in Death Valley. So I think I'm doing what, I think it's 3-second exposures. And I'm shooting at I think I'm close to F4, I think. This thing usually goes pretty quick doing autofocus. I hope I'm not getting eaten alive by these mosquitoes out here. Of course, I feel like I got mosquitoes all over me. It's actually a pretty clear night tonight. I just wish the moon wasn't so bright. But hey, I live in a Bordeaux 9 anyway, so broadband imaging isn't really an option here. I know people say you can do it, but there's no comparison to dark skies. I've pretty much given up on doing broadband from my house. All right, so it's already doing the fine focus steps now. And we should be pretty close. Okay, so it found an autofocus position at 12,768. So we can get out of this. Oh shoot, there we go. Get out of there. So now that we have focus, let's go to polar alignment. And let's see how far off we are. Let me make sure everything is tight so when this thing tilts over, the scope doesn't fall off. And let's do it. Push the play button. So it's plate solving now. Okay, let's go next. So now the camera is tilting over. Actually, the mount is tilting over. Man, that moon is so bright. It's lighting up my whole backyard. Okay, Cavalcade, let's go. Okay, so we are off. I'm probably gonna speed through all this stuff, but let's see if I can get this pretty quick. So I gotta loosen up. Gotta loosen the 2 spring-loaded latches. Ah, these suckers are a little tight. There we go. Because I need to move 6 to. Let's see what that does. Refresh. Sometimes I use auto refresh, sometimes not. I think it's quicker if you don't. If you have your tablet right here next to you, where you can get to it, because otherwise you're always right in the middle of a movement. Okay, so I went the wrong way. I was at 6, now I'm at 8. So let's spin it a bunch that way. Okay, tighten it down and refresh. Okay, so 4. Let's go a little more. So that was halfway. That should be pretty close right there. What am I hitting on? Something's hitting. Oh man. I might have to manually move the mount over. I'm right at the limit. I thought I was close. Apparently I wasn't close enough. Hopefully I gotta go back the other way. Nope. Okay, so I'm gonna have to loosen this and kind of move the whole mount. Little bit. There we go. Now let's see where we're at. I know I went way too far, which is fine because I was at the mount limit. It wouldn't let me screw it over anymore. Okay, there we go. Okay. Oop, refresh. I missed it. Okay, a little more. Let's try it right there. Okay, just a tad bit more. Oop, went too far. Yeah, these things get a little touchy when you get close. Okay, just a tad. Let's see how we are there. Okay, we'll go a hair that way. So if you notice, the altitude doesn't move a whole lot when I'm going back and forth because this mount's pretty level where it's at. Now if it wasn't level, it would be moving the altitude back and forth a bunch. All right, I'm just fighting this thing. I keep going 10 one way, 10 the other way. I just gotta stop being so aggressive with it and just barely crack the knobs. Okay, barely crack it again. One more time. I mean, I'm just barely just crack the one loose and just tighten the other side. Okay, that's good enough for me. I'm going to tighten these two down and I'll give it a refresh after I just tighten down the two spring-loaded. Oh, see, and it just came back up. But that's all right. I'm going to do altitude now. Let's see, so I need to go down. Let's try it right there. Once I get a happy face, I'm usually good. This thing guides. Oh man, I went too far. This thing guides so good that you just got to get it close. Most people shoot for under 1 minute. I don't even care. If I just get the happy face, that's good enough for me. Like right there. That's good enough for me. So my error is 3 minutes, 10 seconds. Just tightened everything down. Oh, I clicked finish. Oh well, good enough. All right, so polar alignment is done. Let's go back to preview. Actually, what I need to do is go into, I don't know if there's another way when you get done with doing your polar alignment. I always have to go back to the mount and then click go home. So now what we need to do is we need to find a star. God, it's not close to the moon. Find something that is far enough away from Polaris to do a calibration. I got bugs climbing on my screen. All right, I gotta use my phone. Let me find, I'll go into Stellarium and find a star. Find a star that is, see, I think Altair. Altair would probably work. Okay, so I'm gonna use Altair. So now let's go into here. I'm gonna search objects. I don't need to go into my favorites. Objects. Oh, how do I get out of favorites? Okay, click that up there. Object name, Altair. Altair. That's it there. Go to it. So now the mount is going to slew to Altair. Hopefully it's not too close to the moon. All right, we should be good. Let a plate solve, let it get on it. All right, now we'll go back. And it's good. Okay, so now let's go into guiding. We're going to clear the old one. Clear it. Okay, let's find some stars. And okay, and it should start doing a calibration. So it's doing the west steps. Hopefully you won't get any errors. Usually if you get far enough away from Polaris, ideally you want to go somewhere near the celestial equator and somewhere above the, like what I say, like 20 degrees above the horizon. You just want the star to be able to move a lot. You want to get a lot of movement in the star. Otherwise you get that error, like star didn't move enough if you're too close to Polaris. Probably just speed up this process. Now we don't have to sit around waiting for this thing to finish. Almost there. South steps. At least the moon wasn't too bright. One more step. It's going to nudge south again. One more time. One more time. All right, and now we are guiding. We didn't get any errors, which means we were good. We're far enough away from Polaris where we've got a good calibration. And let's see, even that close to the moon. Let this thing settle down a bit and see how it's doing for guiding. Yeah, see, I never even mess with the aggression RA in the deck. I just leave them at the factory settings, and this thing guides good. I mean, those are kind of normal guiding. Actually, I think they're better when I'm up there in the desert. But still, for the image circle that this thing has, I always get good stars. I don't think I ever have to throw out any because of guiding. Okay, but anyway, don't need to do this, so we can go ahead and stop guiding. Let's go back to small here. Now let's see, what do we want to image? We're going to do an auto run. Let's go into it. So we will need to reset, because that was from my last, I was doing flats. So we just go back into this one. These are going to be lights. We're not going to do 300. Since tonight I'm not really even going to do much, let's just do 10. Whoop, I got to clear that out. We're just going to do 10. Oh, what am I doing 10? It's exposure. Let's, we'll do 180 second. Global gain, which I'm sure that's like unity gain. All right, we're just going to do 10 of these. Okay, now let me go back because it still thinks we're on Altair. Let's go to, is M31 up yet? Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let's go back here. Let's get the mount back to the home position. Go home. I don't think you have to do that. I'm sure it would slew it to wherever you wanted it to go, but I always like it to start from the home position. Okay, so we are home. Let's go to objects. Search. Let's see if M31 is up. No, it's still below the horizon. Shoot, I don't even know what's up right now. Let me find something. Let's go into Stellarium. Let's see what is up right now. Oh, is that, oh, Cygnus is up. Let's just do NGC 7000. That's always a good one. I think I've done that a bunch. NGC 7000, which should be North America Nebula. And that is definitely up high enough. Let's go to it. That's how I've always done it. I always slew to my target first before I start my auto run. One, to make sure that it's in a good enough position. And also, I'm definitely not a pro at the ASIair. And see, now the target name is great. So you have group by slot. It's going to do the meridian flip. Have no delay set, no intervals. So when this one's done, I'm going to have it go home, and I'm going to have it shut off the ASIair because I'm going to be done. I don't know why it was giving me such a pain to do that. Okay, so we are good. That's all set. Let's go back in and check to make sure it's the lights. We're doing 182nd. Gain is unity gain, global gain, same thing. Repeat it 10 times. Okay. So now we can go back. And let me get my guiding started. That way I'll let my guiding get all settled down before I start imaging. Now let's see where I got my dithering. So I'm dithering 5 pixels, but I think I checked on a chart, and I think I need to be dithering more than 5. Let me check. I think I got it on my phone. Because you want to dither about 20 pixels on the main camera. Now remember, where your guiding goes off of your guide scope. So you got to check your image scale on your guide scope and compare it to the image scale on your main camera. Let's see, where did I put it? Library screenshots. Nope, not that one, this one. Yeah, so I need to be dithering about 18 pixels. So we will do, is there a way to add? All right, well, I guess I'm going to do 10 pixels. I thought there was a way to put in a number that you want, but I guess not. So we're doing 10 pixels. So let's start it. Confirm. So ASI is going to go to the home position, and it's going to shut down when we are done. Confirm. Guiding is at 0.70, so we are good. And you see, my polar alignment wasn't great. I ended up being, I think, 3 minutes. 3 minutes out, and I'm still at 0.68. All right, so I'll probably fast forward to get to this, to get to the end of the first image. And then I think I'm going to shut it down after that because the moon is too bright to be doing any imaging anyway. I just wanted to give you guys a run through of how we set this up in the ASIair and get an auto run set up. So I'm going to let this run. I'll get one image popped up here, and then I'm going to shut it down. So let's fast forward here to the end. Sure, I'm getting eaten up by these damn mosquitoes. One more minute. Okay, it's done. So let's get this first image here. Now remember, this is a Rokinon 135 with the ASI 2600 MC Pro with no filter and a Vortal 9. And that's what it looks like with a 180-second image. You can make it out, but yeah, that's, I mean, the moon is probably just washing this all out. 180 seconds is probably way too long for this setup, but anyway, that's it. So I'm gonna run 10 of these. I'm not even gonna run 10. I'm gonna shut this thing down now. See, guiding is still 0.55. It's great. Anyway, that's it. So that's the walkthrough of setting it up with the AM5, and that's it. Well, thanks for watching. If you like this kind of content, give me a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.